Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Pink Rose Healing. I have gotten a few emails during the week wanting to know what my business name stands for, and I thought, well, why not explain it here on YouTube. So here it is. Now my family is Italian, so my family and my nonna Lilla used to live around the corner from each other, literally like a 2-minute walk. Very Italian of us. And my nonna Lilla was very religious, very Catholic, and so she always was educated on, the saint days and the ones you celebrate, and therefore this is where the story originated from. So I went to a Catholic primary school, and of course I told my mum last minute today I have to go to church because there is a lady saint, and I can't remember her name, but there's a lady saint's birthday and we have to go bring him a flower. And my mum's like, well, I have ferns, I have palm trees, I don't have flowers. I'm like, oh, can we go to the florist and get a flower? She's like, no, just go walk to Nonna Lilla's house and ask her if she can have one of her flowers. So I'm like, okay. So in the morning I walked around the corner to my nonna Lilla's house, and I knocked on the door, and she opens up and she just smiles at me and she goes, I know why you're here. And I'm like, why? She's like, it's this saint's lady's name and you need a flower. I'm like, well, yeah. I was startled because I didn't call her, or I didn't mention anything of this. So that's how educated my nonna Lilla was on the saints' days and celebrations, etc. And she goes, wait here, I'll come back. So my nonna Lilla had 2 beautiful gardens, a front yard and a backyard, and they're both just amazing with flowers and fruits and vegetables and beautiful roses. She had, I think, 5 different rose bushes. And they were just absolutely beautiful. And she had a couple of white rose bushes, and then she had one beautiful pink, luscious rose bush, and she never cut off a rose from this bush, because she used to cut flowers off in her garden and go put it next to my nonno's photograph in her one of the lounges that she doesn't sit in. For the Europeans, that'll be funny. And she used to put the flower next to the candle. So she always used to cut flowers off but this rose bush. So she comes out with some gardening scissors, and she looks at me and she walks over to this beautiful pink rose bush, and I was like, what's she doing? Because Nonna Lilla always made a statement of her roses and how beautiful these roses were. Like, anyone who came into the house, she'd be like, have you seen my rose bush, before you walk into the house. She was so proud of it, and she always made a statement, I never cut any roses off. If they fall off, I keep them. If that, no, I never ever touch this bush. And she walks over to this beautiful rose. It was huge. It was the biggest pink rose, and it was this luscious and beautiful. And she grabs it and she snips this rose off, and I'm like, what? And she goes to me, she turns around and she goes to me, only for you, my granddaughter, will I ever cut off one of my pink roses. And that's how I got the name. It was a beautiful moment, and I was only around 10 years old, and 15 years later, I still remember that. And it's quite extraordinary. Like, when I was doing my business, getting it started, I was like, what am I going to name it? And I only asked that question once, and it's like Pink Rose Healing. Like, it just came to me, and it's interesting because when my nonna passed away, and it was probably the most devastating thing that ever happened to me, because she was more than my nonna, she was my mum and my angel. And I went to this beautiful clairvoyant. I heard she connects well with past loved ones, and she did. She was amazing. And through her, my nonna came through, and my nonna said to me, forget everything I've taught you. Please follow your spiritual path. And I was like, wow, that was huge, and for my nonna to say. And I knew it was her speaking because her voice channeled through this lady, and my lady have gotten everything right before this, and it was quite remarkable. And I remember going home and I was like, okay, I'm going to start my spiritual practice, which I did. I learned all the courses and etc. And then when I wanted to open my business, I'm like, okay, what should I call it? And it was like she came through me, the rose came to my head. I'm like, it's Pink Rose Healing. It was just such a natural thing to me, and I wanted to dedicate my business to my nonna because she helped me to become who I am. And you know, without her coming to me in spirit form and letting me know to follow my spiritual practice and open up a business, I wouldn't be doing what I do. So I want to say a big thank you to my nonna Lilla. She's always with me. And yeah, so, you know, those memories that you think, you know, have no meaning, believe me, they do. And they might give you a meaning later on in life. I know every moment is precious and they can really change your life. So yes, that's how I got Pink Rose Healing. Okay, now I will be setting up another video later this week because this video was meant for last week, but I didn't get around to it. So keep posted, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you. Bye.